Okay, so today's video is regarding okay, and we are just going to go through the main elements of door knocking, potential situations that may arise, how to conquer them, and ultimately just to prepare via role play about certain situations that may arise. Okay, so door knocking, as we are all aware now, is effectively where we have canvas properties that we are 90 to 95% confident that are on the market. And our job now is to, having posted a letter, to go and knock on the door with a view to speak to the vendor and tell them about ourselves. The aim of the door knock is not to close business there and then. Okay, so I just want to make that explicitly clear. Like, there is no pressure on you to close business there and then. The aim of the first door knock is to, firstly, to introduce yourself to the vendor. Secondly, to qualify them properly to find out the actual status of the property. So how long it's been on the market, if it's under offer. And thirdly, with a view to lining up a second door knock / meeting. Now, with a second meeting, that would hopefully be a little bit more conclusive by way of either a valuation, whereby you're able to give them a valuation on their property based on our knowledge and what we think in comparison to the agent that they're currently with. And secondly, it's about ensuring that you're going through and explaining the strategy to them. So we're looking at how the current agent has it on the market, what they're doing, analyzing what they're doing, analyzing the results of what they've got so far, and showing the vendor what you could do differently. Okay. So would you like to add anything to that? Is there anything that you sort of, I know you've done a few door knocks so far. Would you say there's a different aim to door knocking?
I guess you got to, when you, on the door knocks that I've knocked thus far, the biggest important thing to do is be smart and say hello. But one of the most important thing is to obviously observe the person that you're speaking with and see what kind of mood that they're in. If they've just literally kind of jumped out of a shower and they're in a dressing gown or anything like that. So it's becomes quite intrusive to have a deeper conversation. So I've had a situation where basically you can tell clearly that this person's just kind of got out of bed. So they're kind of quite a little bit cranky.
Yeah.
So, you could just say, so my conversation started immediately with like, I'm so sorry to bother you, apologies kind of thing. I didn't mean did I wake you up? Just to kind of soften the blow instead of saying, hey, my name is Rob, and then go for a full formal introduction. So it started with an apology as opposed to something else. I've had a situation where a lady was going out for, as I was about to knock, she was kind of coming out of the house. I'm already within her personal space. And then I said, oh, I'm sorry. I was just about to knock on your door. And I, again, handed a letter as opposed to having a deeper conversation, because obviously she was about to go somewhere else. There was a crazy dog. I'm not a fan of dogs. So the dog was barking. And so gave her a letter, gave her a quick intro and left her to get along with her business of the day. The biggest thing is I can add is door knocking can be quite unnerving. And I think everyone, if you remember at some stage of your life, you would have had to answer to a door knock. And I remember the most recent door knocks campaigns that I've had, and where I've actually been door knocked by Jehovah's Witness to local politicians who are canvassing for the postal votes, And I remember shutting the door. I said, sorry, not interested, very, very quickly, And now I find myself on the opposite side and knocking on the door, So if you can remember all the reasons that you gave to someone else to shut the door, they're going to give the same reasons back to you. Some people will give you absolutely no time, and some people will give you the time. Some people will not even come to the door. I've had a situation where it was through the door knock. Can't remember the name of the camera now. Yeah, so they didn't actually physically open the door. It was they spoke through the intercom system, the built-in camera system, and they said they spoke to me. So that made it a little bit more difficult because you can't judge the person's body language. There's no eye contact, and it was a very very, very cool conversation because you're standing there in front of someone's door and having a conversation on an intercom, and you can't really get any personal. So that was challenging, but I think thus far the ones that I've knocked, I actually quite enjoyed it. I actually anticipated a far worse result and actually got a positive result because there were people in, and the biggest challenge, I guess, with door knocking is when do you do it? What time do you do it? What is the right time to do it? And is it based, you got to give consideration on maybe on weather. If it, I really want to try knocking on days when it's colder and when it's raining, because I think there's going to be more people inside. Then I knocked on a sunny morning kind of thing, just past 10:30 in the morning, and I think a lot of people just decided to exit as quickly as possible. But I had a good response on the ones that I knocked. So I think it's now having a balance between the times that you do it, but it's also the frequency that you do it. And although I knocked on the door, the ones that didn't answer the door, I actually left another letter. So I didn't want to take that missed opportunity. So it's again doing a repetition and logging that repetition, which is critical. There's no point doing an activity if you can't remember, actually, did I knock on that door and what the conversation was? That's it. I went over ambitious on one thing, which was bad, which was I posted a lot of letters, in excess of 46 letters, but the amount of doors that I have knocked has been less. I've only knocked on just over 11 doors, or actually 11 doors to be exact. So I guess it's being realistic and making sure the amount of letters that you post, you can keep up within that week of that door knock, because otherwise they would have forgotten the letter and you're no longer in their memory. It's just kind of making sure if you've posted a letter, I guess today, is to knock within possibly maximum within 5 days, I would say.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think, just touching on some of the things you said, I agree. It can be unnerving for certain. There's no doubt about it. It definitely is unnerving. It requires, but this does require consistency, and it does require, you to continually knock on doors where, the point of this is to knock on doors that are quality doors rather than knocking for the sake of quantity. I think that's the best way to put it. And you are going to come across loads of different experiences while you're doing this. I like what you said, people coming out of bed and stuff like that. And you just got to play it by ear. At the end of the day, like we said, the most important thing to ascertain is that this first door knock is not a closing door knock. The aim is to introduce yourself, get them comfortable with you, and obviously always have another letter to hand as well as a business card, which means that's something that you can pass on to them by way of, exiting the conversation or the interaction, should I say. Also, one big tip I would always say is that if you feel that somebody is slightly uncomfortable, don't wait for them to tell you to get lost. Give them a card and walk away yourself, because that still leaves the door open. If you do that, if you have an interaction with someone where they're cold and they're not really interacting, give them a card and say, look, I'll be back in a couple of weeks. And if they do not hesitate at that point, you've left the door open and you prep them to come back. Which is great. But as said previously, the aim of the door knock is to introduce yourself, meet them, get them semi-familiar with you, and open the door for the next interaction / setting a meeting. Okay. Now we're just going to go through a couple of scenarios here in terms of door knocking and role playing. What can happen? So I'm going to be the person that's door knocking. He's going to be the vendor, and let's see how we get on. Okay. So knock knock.
Who's there?
Hi, good afternoon, sir. My name's Adam from EA Real Estate. I posted a letter out to you around a week ago, just in regards to your property that's on the market for sale. Did you get it?
No, but I'm not interested.
Are you not interested? Okay, no, absolutely fine. So look, I appreciate your property on the market. I'm just going to leave my business card
Yep.
with you, okay? And I'll be around in the area in the next couple of weeks. Just touching base, seeing how your property sales go.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot. Cheers. Boom. Right, as you can see, very, very cold. I love it. That's
Yeah.
great. But what I did, which was quite good, was, like I said, I anticipated he was cold. I didn't challenge him on the fact that he didn't want to talk to me. Left him my business card, which he luckily accepted. He could have said no, but he accepted my business card. Now that means I can come in and knock on him again. So I have to now log this interaction. I have to log the fact that I left the business card, and I have to come back in the next couple of weeks. Anything you say different?
No, I think that you understood that I was getting quite very defensive. I wasn't welcoming, so I would say it's good that you backed off as opposed to just kind of pushing back.
Pressure, yeah. Never ever pressure, guys. Never ever pressure. This is somebody's personal space. This is their home. Yeah. The whole point of a door knock is try and establish some sort of interaction which could lead to rapport, which could lead to a relationship. If you're going to push onto someone or be possessive or be sort of pushy in any way, shape, or form, they're instantly going to slam the door, and that's the interaction done. So we cannot do that, you know. Yeah, just going back into this in a second. What was I going to say? What else we could have done is, you know how sort of I knocked on the door,
Yeah.
and you were very standoffish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say could you have got worse?
I could have got worse because it depends. I think as the person knocking on the door, you've got to keep aware of your senses. Like, for example, I've done that situation where I've pushed back and said no to someone because it wasn't big. They just happened to get me at a very bad moment.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I say a bad moment, it's either, as you know, I've got children.
Yeah.
So like if my daughter's screaming on the background, or it's been a very difficult thing, that is a very, very bad moment. So where you can hear maybe an animal barking, whether it's dog or cat purring, or children, particularly children, where children are screaming in the background, no parent wants to stand and have a conversation. So it's better to say, I can hear you've got your hands full. I'm so sorry to bother you. Here's my card, and I'll try you another time.
I'm going to challenge that. Look, okay. I think it's very, very important in the first interaction to introduce yourself, introduce your company, and let them know why you're knocking. Okay, that's the most important thing here. Like, you're knocking on the door and saying, "Hi, your property is for sale," or standing like a rabbit in the headlights is just going to be a straight reason for them to shut the door. Okay. So I think it's very, very important to, in the first 20 seconds of that interaction, to get out. Hi, my name's Adam from EA Real Estate. So sorry to bother you early in the morning. I sent a letter about a week ago. Did you get it? That's it. You have to put literally introduction, who you are, letter, did you get it? No, I didn't get it. Okay, no problem whatsoever. Look, I'm an agent in the area. I've got a lot of interested buyers who are looking to purchase your type of property. I've seen that it's on the market for some time. How's it going with the agent? Now you sort of open the door. You open the door for some sort of conversation. If at that point they say, it's okay, it's fine, whatever, and you can sense that it's cold, at that point, step back. Look, sir, totally appreciate it. Look, have a lovely day. I'm going to leave you my business card. My number's on there. What's your name, sir? My name was Bob. Now you've got his name. You've got his name. So you've got a point of personality there. Or a personal connection, should I say. So you've got that person's name, you left them a business card, you're walking away from the conversation, you're not being told to walk away. And now that's the point where you can come back in and you can speak to them again. You can knock on that door again. Another thing that would be really cool to do is that I can see you're busy right now. When are you normally around in the property? When are you normally at home? Sure. I'm home at random times. No problem. I'm going to catch you. I'm in the area all the time anyway. I'll give you a shout in a couple of weeks. Walk away. They know who you are now. They know you're Adam. They know you're Rob. And you know who they are. And you've opened the door to that interaction. That next interaction, hopefully, will not be as cold. Hopefully.
There is another thing. Is obviously, like when you knock, depending on the door that you're trying to knock, obviously make sure you've got access to that, to knock on that door. Obviously, it works really well on houses, like what we've talked about. You can't knock on the certain apartments if there's concierge restrictions and going on for. So it's a very gated community. There is another one thing to know. I like the way you said, like, for example, it's very important to introduce yourself. But again, sometimes when you're trying to introduce yourself at that point and you said, did you get something through the letter? It can sometimes, depending on, again, judging by the other person's body language, it can be quite defensive as well. So you can put the other person on defense. I've gone sometimes where I didn't actually do it on this call, but it's where I've previously knocked on like businesses, for example, in terms of in a different field of work, where you end up complimenting them on their environment, or you end up complimenting on their house or the frontage or the garden, and you say, I love your garden, okay? And when you say I love something, okay, they automatically have to say thank you for whatever reason, you know?
Yeah.
And it's that gets you that immediate, the defenses kind of falls off, you know? When you compliment someone, they have to say thank you. They never disagree with you at all, you know? And so I think going for that approach, saying love your garden, or such an unusual house, I just wanted to say
into an opening call, into an opening interaction, or into, because the point of the interest is to hook.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you need to hook. Like, that's great. But how would you put it?
So let's try it. I'm looking. She wanted to excuse me for the knock, but I just wanted to say I love your frontage of your house. Where did you get it done?
Who are you?
My name is Rob. I'm actually a local real estate agent. I've actually dropped a letter to your mailbox just over a week ago. Did you by any chance get it?
I get a lot of letters.
You get a lot of letters. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm in the area. As I said, I'm from a local real estate brokerage firm. We've got an active amount of customers looking within the area. I just noticed you've got your property listed with an agent. How is that going?
It's okay, mate. It's okay. It's not too bad. Look, it's not the best time right now.
Sure.
Can we make it quick?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, can I ask you, when are you next in the? Could we possibly arrange a meeting or a conversation?
You know what? Probably around next Saturday in the evening.
Okay, I'm going to give you something which is really, really valuable. Okay, potentially this is worth a lot of money. If I give it to you, will you keep it in a safe place?
Go on.
This can potentially generate you more income, or potentially get you more money on the sale of your property. Give me 5 minutes of your time.
Yeah.
Keep this safe and let's talk.
Nice one. You done well. That's a good one. Well done. Well done. No, that captured my attention. Key thing is capturing attention.
Yeah.
Hook. Don't waste people's time. Remember, you're in their house, you're invading their personal space. Respect and appreciate their time by getting to the chase as quickly as possible. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't personally have started with that question about how to drive, because that's so random. Yeah, like as you can see, it didn't come off too well. But I mean, a way I would have done it is just like, you know, so again, this will bet.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Adam. Real Estate. I sent you through a letter about a week ago, just in regards to your property for sale. Did you get it at all?
Don't recall.
You don't recall? Okay, no problem at all whatsoever. But just before I talk anything about it, I actually love your garden. Yeah. Do you know what? They always say a garden tells a lot about a person. So I'm guessing you're the homeowner.
Yes, I am.
Amazing. You've done a great job here, by the way. Look, I see your property's on the market. It's been on the market for some time now. I appreciate it hasn't gone under offer. What's happening here? I'm an agent. I'm here to help you sell. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm very strict to the point. I've got people who are potentially interested. I just want to know why it hasn't sold with this agent.
Well, there's been a couple of offers,
Okay.
but they haven't managed to get what I want.
Okay, fine. So the offers have come through, but they just haven't quite met your expectation.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, no problem at all. Look, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave you my business card and the letter that was originally sent. I'm going to leave that with you. Okay. I appreciate you being in the area in a while, but I'm in the area quite often.
Yeah.
I will knock on you again. Just as a means of touching base. I'm not here to put pressure on you. I'm not here to sort of force you to come with me. More so just to let you know that I'm here, let you know that I've got active buyers, letting you know that I can sell this to you. Okay. So take my business card and look, I'll be in touch with you soon. What's your name again, sir?
Rob.
Rob, absolute pleasure. Thanks for your time.
Cool.
Take care. Bye bye.
At that time, would you just say bye? Would you go in for a shake, a fist pump, whatever?
Definitely go for a shake.
Going for a shake.
Yeah. Depends on the situation.
Okay.
Like we're quite close here.
Yeah.
So I would probably go for a shake.
Yeah.
However, it depends on the distance.
Yeah.
So for example, if the distance between you and the door is quite close, and you can see that the interaction's flown, you have to sense it and make a judgment call.
Make a judgment call. Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, if it's a woman and say
she might not want to shake hands or whatever, don't offer it.
If it's a guy, had a little bit of a smile, interaction. Go for the shake, solidifies it, seals the deal. Okay. Yeah, so I would say, you have to pull that. There's no right one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go on.
I actually haven't tried this, but I guess one of the things I've discussed this before, obviously not on a video call, on a video recording, but I think it's one of the good thing is also being armed with, and I need to arm myself with 2 types of card, which is I've got the business card, which is the printed one, but I want to probably do some testing with the digital card, whereby I want to get in the person's phone there and then, and you'd be quite surprised on how many people actually answer their door, the phone in their hand. They're watching something or they're doing something. Okay, I know I've done it, and my friends on my hand or very close by in proximity. With having a digital card, sometimes also works where basically you want to be in their phone straight away because I think giving a business card really, really works. And in terms of when I did the 11 calls, I only gave a business card to 2, not the third one, because my business card was already in the letter. So I explained my card's already in there within the envelope. So if you go for a digital thing where digital element where you can get to a point, depending on how the situation evolves, of exchanging, getting more personal details there and then, or making sure that you're actually on their phone and they just don't throw the card. It's a hard pull, but as you said, it's one of those things which you've got to judge it. But I think you need to be armed with certain things. And the other thing is, I haven't tried this, but I am going to try this. And I live by not far from Narrow Street, and there's a children's park. And I intend to knock on the weekends, kind of thing. I'm actually going to go next time knocking on the door when I've actually taken the kids to the park, or one of them to the park, whereby within that vicinity, you can see a lot of people are parents as well. So it's actually quite easy to engage on a conversation from a parent to parent. So so having a prop sometimes actually quite helps, to be honest, because you're just knocking and they're quite, and there's an instant trust with someone knocking, because you don't appear, when someone knocks on the door and they're single or whatever, and it's a man, you automatically assume, oh God, what is he trying to sell? Because this is a double glazing salesman. Having someone or like younger or whatever, or even a pet or whatever. I don't have a dog. So I think it's one of those things. I'll probably report it next time. I'm going to try it with one of the kids,
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's just
it works. It could work. It's just it's reducing the barrier of entry, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Really. I think in regards to the door knock side of things, we've touched on it multiple times now. So the initial door knock, is going to be daunting. It's going to be nerve-wracking. And at least for the first few times, you are going to feel sort of reluctant to do it and look for ways out.
Yeah.
That's the truth, but on the flip side, once you get into it, you should, like me personally, I love it. Like knocking on someone's door. Obviously the chances of great conversations are, of course, they are lower. But the pursuit of that is what sales is all about. And just to put it out there, door knocking is not hard. It's something that requires just consistency and commitment. And 9 out of 10 people who do not succeed in door knocking do not succeed, not because it's hard, it's because they're not prepared to go through the hurdles, and bear in mind, you're not knocking on cold doors here. You're knocking on doors where you've identified that the property is for sale. You've pretty much identified that the vendor lives there. And now you're knocking to introduce yourself, having sent a letter. So put it this way, it could be a hell of a lot worse. And you could be knocking on random doors asking to see if they want to sell, which you're not doing, So,
these are effectively pre-qualified,
absolutely,
qualified sellers.
100%, 100%, And in fact, you need to put it this way into your mind, that you're doing a disservice to them by not knocking, especially if the property hasn't sold and you can sell it for them, which you can. So yeah, I would say take the chance. Don't worry too much about it. Cut to the chase, and like I said, go in there with the mindset that you want to set up a second meeting. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think it's again what you said. It's that consistency of repetition. It's there are times, like for example, you will get challenging and you'll look at the weather, you'll look at other restrictions, but it's a case of just at minimum, you need to do it minimum of at least an hour or 2 hours. And once you get to it, and after 3-4 times, it becomes second nature, and you'll just kind of move into this rhythmic pattern, to be honest, and that's it.
Yeah, fully agree.
Yeah.
Fully agree. Yeah. Right. That's everything from us, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
That's it.